There's a quiet strength that rarely gets talked about. It isn't flashy, it doesn't shout to be heard, it doesn't lead with opinion or certainty, and yet it transforms relationships, heals rifts, and inspires change in ways that coercion never can. It is the power of empathic strength, and in a world constantly shouting for attention, doubling down on its views, and drawing hard lines between sides, this may be the most radical thing you can practice, to release the need to be right and instead open yourself to deeply understanding those around you. In Taoist thought, this is one of the highest expressions of wisdom, not to hold a fixed mind, but to become like water, able to take the shape of any vessel without losing your essence. Let's explore what it means to lead not by domination, but by resonance. Chapter 49 of the Tao Te Ching sages have no fixed mind. They make the minds of the people their mind. They improve the good and also improve those who are not good. That virtue is good. They make sure of the true and they make sure of the untrue too. That virtue is sure. The relation of sages to the world is one of concern. They cloud their minds for the world. All people pour into their ears and eyes, and sages render them innocent. The yielding mindset of leadership. Most people assume leadership means having answers, but the Taoist sage has no fixed mind. Instead, they become deeply attuned to those around them, not in a way that is manipulative or self-sacrificing, but in a way that creates natural rapport. When you stop trying to change someone and instead start understanding them, a transformation happens. They start to feel seen, and when people feel seen, they soften. In the yielding warrior method, we talk about this as tuning your instrument. You don't crash through someone's defenses, you harmonize. You become quiet enough to hear the subtle frequencies under the surface, and strong enough to hold that space without needing to fix, control, or change anything. This is empathic leadership, and it begins with presence. Why fixed minds block influence? Let's be clear. Not having a fixed mind doesn't mean you lack values or direction. It means you aren't glued to your perspective. When someone clings to a fixed mental position, they begin projecting that filter onto everyone and everything. They stop seeing what is and instead only see what they expect. They mistake assumption for insight. But the Taoist sage dissolves these layers. They know that if you approach someone with the belief that they are wrong, broken, or inferior, they will respond to your posture, not your words. If instead you embody true empathy, not coddling, but respectful curiosity and still presence without ego, you become like a mirror, and people will open in your presence. There was once a high school wrestling coach known for building champions, but what stood out wasn't his technique, it was his silence. One day, a freshman named Jordan came into practice clearly distracted. The coach noticed but said nothing. He just walked over, stood next to Jordan, and began stretching alongside him. After several minutes, Jordan opened up. His parents were fighting, he hadn't slept, he was failing math. No lecture came. The coach simply listened. At the end of practice, he put a hand on Jordan's shoulder and said, "You don't need to carry this alone, I see you. Come find me before school tomorrow. We'll figure this out." That moment changed the trajectory of Jordan's life. He later said, "He didn't fix anything that day, but he made me feel like I mattered. That gave me the strength to fix it myself." That's empathic strength. That's Taoist leadership in action, making the minds of the people your mind. Let's reflect on this powerful line. Sages have no fixed mind. They make the minds of the people their mind. This doesn't mean blindly agreeing with others. It means tuning in. When you speak to a child, become childlike, not childish, but sensitive to their experience. When you guide a teammate, enter their mental landscape before issuing advice. When you lead a group, feel the emotional undercurrent of the room before choosing your words. This skill is powerful in business, teaching, parenting, and partnership. It also requires internal stability. You can't do this if you're caught in reactivity. That's why the sage, even as they cloud their mind for the world, are never confused. They choose to become receptive, not to be influenced, but to understand. Why the sage improves both good and bad Taoist leadership doesn't divide people into worthy and unworthy. They improve the good and also improve those who are not good. That virtue is good. Everyone is in process. Some people act from fear, trauma, confusion, or ignorance, but this doesn't mean they are fixed in that state. The sage sees potential in everyone, not because of blind optimism, but because they understand the fluid nature of being. When you stop labeling someone, you give them room to grow. Empathic strength says, I will not reduce you to your worst behavior. I will not elevate you only when you agree with me. I will remain present, holding a space so safe and so steady that your best self can emerge. The 10-minute empathy reset. Today, try this simple practice. 1. Think of someone who frustrates or confuses you. 2. Set a timer for 10 minutes. 3. Sit in stillness. Breathe deeply. Then imagine stepping into their experience. 4. Without justifying harmful behavior, simply ask, oh, what might they be afraid of? Oh, what are they trying to protect? Oh, what pain might they be carrying? Don't answer mentally, just feel. This doesn't mean excusing anyone. It means opening a door to deeper perception. When your posture softens, theirs often will too. One final thought. Empathic strength is not weakness. The strongest leaders in the world are not the loudest. They are not the most certain. They are the most tuned in. They can lead a room without saying a word. They can guide a conversation without dominating it. They can carry others not because they are trying to impress, but because they are present enough to understand. This is Tao. This is power through yielding. This is the quiet, life-changing art of empathic strength. Let the world pour into your ears and eyes, not to overwhelm you, but so that you may transmute what you receive into wisdom, stillness, and action. If this lesson resonated with you, share it with someone you respect, and take 5 minutes to practice empathic listening today. No advice, no interruption, just presence. That might be the most powerful thing you do all week.